It's February 2026. I'm standing outside the Norfolk Hotel. Not the old one people like to talk about in the history books. The new Norfolk. It's currently a busy street. People are passing by. Some of them are cutting through, heading towards the University of Nairobi. You can tell. Backpacks, quick steps, eyes already somewhere else. Others are coming in and out of the Kenyan National Theatre, which is right opposite the Norfolk Hotel. Some look like they're rehearsing lines in their head. Some look like they've just finished telling stories and are ready to go home. Just across the way is Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, the only national broadcasting station owned by the government since 1928, the initial establishment of radio broadcasting. It's not a quiet road, but it's not chaos either. It's Nairobi, moving, negotiating with itself. There's a mix of people going in and out. Africans, white foreigners, tourist vans dropping guests at the entrance. And not all the black faces here are working. Some of them are guests now, not workers only. Now Africans standing tall, checking in, belonging, with pride and freedom.
Habari yako?
Mzuri sana.
The watchman stands by the gate, smart, polite. He waves as people enter, he waves as they leave. He looks across, sees me, and waves at me with a wide smile running from ear to ear. I'm standing here, watching all this, wondering how our great-grandparents are older than our nation. And I can't help thinking how. This country is young, so hopeful, and somehow still very worried about itself. Are we Uhuru? Are we free? Were we ever Uhuru? But the Norfolk has not always been like this. Let me take you back. In the year 1908, there was a man called Dominic, or Dominico. That's what his friends and family called him. He couldn't quite say Dominic. He was born and raised in Nyeri at a place called Mukureini, a small village. That's where he met her. They were young. They met in secret, by the river, in the bushes, talking, laughing, making silly promises, holding hands, picking flowers as they rush downhill towards a river beset on each side with birds, monkeys, and buzzing bees. Under the canopy, gargling a delicate tune, was the river. On the surface, the hypnotic dance of the water beetles. Butterflies graced their love. It was a sweet heaven. Sweet words. He promised her he would marry her. He would pay for her bride price. Despite Dominico coming from a humble background, he was not the type to give up on love. And he meant it. So, when he was old enough, he left for Nairobi to find money, to hustle. The city of dreams and destiny. The city that doesn't sleep. He heard of all the tall upcoming buildings, people of different skins and cultures. To do the honorable thing, he left the village to fulfill his promise to his lover. He found work at the newly built Norfolk Hotel. In the early months of 1904, two enterprising settlers, Pop Winarls and Major Ringer, seized the golden opportunity and built the first luxury and commercial hotel of its kind, which is what today is known as Norfolk Hotel. The hotel quickly picked up around 1909 to become one of the most popular elitist hubs of all the who's who visited Nairobi, which at the time was only known as a British colony. Sir Winston Churchill and former American President Teddy Roosevelt visited this hub, just to mention but a few. This alone should paint the picture of how Norfolk Hotel was highly esteemed. The Norfolk sat maybe 2 kilometers from the Nairobi River. You could hear the river, near a papyrus swamp full of croaking frogs and hibernating mosquitoes, a barren land with hippos basking in the sun just at the outer banks of the Nairobi River. Hippos roaming around in the night, a cool breeze, birds, frogs, giraffes chewing indigenous leaves. And inside the hotel, white settlers having fun, a white couple laughing, enjoying themselves, unaware of the promises that had brought a young man from Nyeri to stand just outside in the hot Nairobi heat. Dominico was standing right outside this hotel in the harsh sun of the city under the sun, waiting for the white settlers to finish enjoying the African resources they had seized, when it hit him that while he was struggling on an empty stomach, the white settlers, the Kabura, were probably in there devouring a sumptuous meal of lobsters. So he figured it was only fair that he finds a way to sort himself out as well. But his motivation that kept him going was the love for his beautiful girlfriend he left in the village, to work for the bride price, to marry. That early afternoon, fortune brushed past Dominico. Just brushed. Food meant for the masters. Colonial food, colonial plates, colonial waste, shared quietly like a secret. And he was lucky to get a meal that day, not his usual boiled cassava. It tasted like luck. It tasted like tomorrow. Freedom. White supervisor. A tall mustached man dressed in white waistcoat, black tailcoat, trousers, and a dangling pocket watch crowned with an exquisite fedora hat.
Dominic!
Yes, sir. Ndio bwana.
Railway station. Now!
Ndio bwana. Yes, master.
2 guests, tipsy but not drunk, in love. All Dominico could do is have a quick glance and dare not touch, for he would lose his eyes for just a mere long stare. Life was easy for the colonialists. They had everything. The white highlands, the fertile soil, the hills, the valleys, and the Africans were left in chains. They were in heaven. Everything was always in their favor, and they assumed the road will behave. The Norfolk to the railway, 2.4 kilometers. He starts along Kingsway Road, now called Harry Tuku Road, just past Kingsway Police Line, Central Police Station, heading towards Government Road, Moi Avenue. A 2.4 kilometer walk/pull of a rickshaw while ferrying 2 people on a rough road. Aha! Enough time for a body to betray a man. At first, his stomach whispered. He ignores it. Poor men learn to ignore things. By Koja Mosque, the whisper raises its voice. Heat climbs his spine. Sweat answers fast. Speed feels like a solution. It rarely is, especially when ferrying the master, the white settler, the colonialist. Still, along Government Road, Moi Avenue, pain sharpens, and so does his urgency.
Slow down! You native African, you'll kill us!
He slows. Obedience comes easier than relief. He could lose his life for toppling the white master. The railway. They leave joy behind them as Dominico runs for dignity. The body wins. And just as he reaches to now finish his business,
Hey, you barbaric native African, get out of our... Get him!
luck had already moved on. As soon as he got to the railway, Dominic rushed to the nearest toilet and finally relieved himself. But little did he know that this was to be his last long call, or shit in freedom. He was later arrested alongside the washroom cleaner for conspiracy to bomb a white man's toilet in the then Nairobi apartheid system. Dominic and the cleaner were sentenced to 13 years, and it took 15 minutes for the white judge to make the ruling. They spent 7 years in Mnene, now Kamati prison, where the mass burial of Africans took place, and 6 years in Mwea prison, a detention camp. The Archive Speaks, starring
Ahadi Kingori.
Charles Mnene.
Ivan Oyik, directed by Kwame Owusu and Darren Sinnott, written by Thuita Mwangi, sound design by Zana, produced by German Street Theatre and Kenya International Theatre Festival, part of the British Council UK Kenya season.